We'll get started. So thanks everyone so much for joining today. My name is Bobby Kulik, and I'm the CEO and co-founder here at Elion. We're really excited to introduce you all to our EHR comparison product and also be hosting this in-depth conversation on EHR selection with an all-star lineup of digital health product leaders. Before we begin, I wanted to start by saying just a quick word about Elion's mission. Put simply, we exist to make it easier to build great healthcare companies. We started Elion based on our own difficulties discovering and evaluating healthcare technology vendors in our previous companies. And our strong belief is that it doesn't need to be this hard. So our entire focus as a company is on making this process easier for other healthcare builders. Today marks a big step forward in this mission. We're launching our first in-depth vendor comparison product focused specifically on the EHR category. We chose to start with EHRs because of the foundational technology decision for every provider organization. Nearly every subsequent tech decision depends in one way or another on what EHR is being used. For example, what you choose to do for patient intake or scheduling or revenue cycle management will depend on the capabilities of your EHR. Over the last several months, we've worked closely with the leading digital health focused EHRs to create the most comprehensive EHR dataset anywhere. We've gathered a broad set of 20 plus EHR vendors in one place, so builders don't need to be worried about missing potential options. We've put together a detailed requirements list, essentially an RFP, over 200 plus features and capabilities. And across our launch partners, we have over 10,000 data points covering their feature sets, product demo videos and API docs, integration partners, customer lists, and more. We've already heard from our beta testers that it's been immensely helpful in their own EHR selection processes, saving them weeks of time in finding vendors, creating requirements lists, and gathering product information, and ultimately helping them make better, more confident EHR decisions, preventing painful rebuilds and replatforming down the road. In the coming months, we'll be releasing additional category deep dives, so stay tuned for more announcements soon. And without further ado, I'll turn it over to Patrick on our team to give an in-depth walkthrough of the product.
Thanks, Bobby. Hi, everyone. I'm Patrick. I lead product here at Elion, and I'm really excited to show you what we've been working on. Our goal in building this product was to help buyers of digitally native EHRs, from VC-backed startups and scale-ups to more traditional clinicians who are modernizing their practices. To do that, we talked with dozens of folks who had gone through or were currently going through the process of buying an EHR to try to understand their pain points. We came away with a few key insights. One, defining the requirements for a new EHR can be challenging, especially for first-time buyers or buyers with a new use case. Two, finding a comprehensive list of EHRs to choose from for your use case is time-consuming, while asking friends what EHRs they use can often be hit or miss. Three, sorting through products to understand their features, capabilities, support, and pricing can take weeks of vetting and sales calls. To try to solve these problems, we wanted to build a product that helps buyers source a comprehensive list of EHRs, a structured set of common requirements, as well as the raw data that they need to compare products head to head. To create this product, we started by gathering a detailed list of digitally native EHRs, as well as creating a comprehensive RFP to run with as many of those EHRs as possible. In creating this RFP, we looked both at data requested by buyers during our initial interviews, as well as the latest features and capabilities offered across the range of EHRs that we surveyed, creating a nearly 200-row list of individual features and product details. We ran this RFP with the vendors that you'll see on the platform today, gathering fine-grained data on what they can do and how their products work. We worked with vendors to verify these capabilities and features, and we enriched this data set with documentation, demos, and descriptions of product features to help our buyers with more nuanced data. We also created a process with these vendors to stay up to date with product changes, and we're always updating our survey to better reflect buyer needs and general EHR capabilities. Now, I'm going to switch roles and put myself in the shoes of a product manager for Mileage Health, a fictional startup that helps runners heal from and manage common injuries like runner's knee. Our focus is on helping coach our users to enable good habits, provide them with access to remote physical therapy, and we're interested in building and owning the entire patient experience ourselves. We're cash pay now, but we hope to start billing insurance in the future. We're already live and operational with some aspects of the practice, but the burden of using Google Docs and Zoom is getting high, and we're ready to start building out our patient-facing experience now. I've written out a few of the basic requirements for my search: telehealth for PT and initial consults, customizable patient forms, cash pay and patient invoicing with recurring payments, strong API capabilities and documentation in order for us to build our patient-facing application. And finally, I'm going to be looking for integrations with marketing, email, and CRM platforms to better connect with our users. Now, give me just a moment to get things set up, and then we'll get to the fun part. All right. So you can see here a list of 24 EHR products, but you might notice that not all profiles are available for comparison. I wanted to take a moment here to note that we monetize by charging vendors a subscription fee for listing their EHR with an in-depth profile. Now, at the same time, our goal is to remain vendor neutral and provide as much helpful, unbiased information to buyers as possible, which is why you'll see vendors here that don't yet have in-depth profiles. We hope to get them added to the platform soon. Now, stepping into the shoes of our product manager, I heard from a friend that 3 EHRs may be interesting for my use case, so I'm going to select these 3 EHRs and set them up for comparison. Immediately, I can see some high-level information on the companies themselves, along with details about how they think about their differentiation. Now, it looks like my business may be a target customer for all these products, but I want to dig into some of their existing customers and see if they align with my business. So I'm going to look for PT or orthopedic care customers that may be similar to me. Cool. I can already see that there may be some good customer comps here. Going back to the comparison, we can already start to see the initial pricing as well as the overall pricing model. From what I can see here, both of them seem reasonable to start, although I'll obviously need to talk to them about my use case in order to get some more details. Now, I think it's time to compare features. Luckily, I've already defined my feature requirements, but this does seem to be a pretty comprehensive list. So maybe I'll come back here later and add to my requirements. But for now, let's go through what I have, starting with telehealth. So I think I'll only need some basic telehealth capabilities here, but it appears that all these products have some sort of telehealth component. And I can see granular details that may be applicable for my use case. I can see descriptions, documentation, and demos across these features. Now, it looks like all these products could be a potential fit. The next requirement that I have is customizable patient forms. So it looks like each of these products are pretty robust across their different patient forms. And looking at this list, I realized that we may actually need a few additional features. So I think the form builder may be what I need, but I'm going to check on the definition to make sure that this is exactly what I'm tracking, and that looks right. I can continue to click on demos and documentation in order to see how the intake form or patient forms work across each of these different products. Now, for the next requirement, we want to take cash payments and we want to potentially bill insurance in the future. So I'm going to click into cash payments. And it looks like for both patient invoicing and recurring payments, these are options across all the different EHRs here. And I can dig into the functionality for each of them. Awesome. Now, under RCM, I can see it looks like both Avon and Healthy have a couple of the RCM integrations that I've heard of. Looks like they support integrations with Candid. Both of them have Candid. One of them has Enter, the other has Office Ally. And it looks like Telescope may still be working on that functionality. Finally, I want to dig into overall API capabilities so that we can build out our patient experience. Okay, so it looks like each of these EHRs has patient authentication, and I can actually see some of the API docs here. Cool. Now, we might need to follow up with patients if they perform certain actions in the platform. So I think task management APIs are going to be really important. I think care plan APIs may also be important, so that we can programmatically generate a care plan for patients after an initial consult. And finally, we might want to build in a video conferencing if patients want to initiate their own session. So this all makes sense to me, but I might need to also pass this to my engineering partner so she can look through the APIs and make her recommendation. So what I'll do is just take this link here and pass it to her on Slack later. Now, at this point, I may want to dig into their integrations. So I can actually click into a profile here and navigate to the integrations tab, scanning through the list of integrations. And I can even click to see documentation. So I was interested in CRMs, email marketing, and other kind of user-facing integrations here. So I'll click in here. Awesome. So I can kind of see how this integration works. Finally, once I've done due diligence on a couple of these companies, I can click contact here in order to get a direct introduction to their sales leadership. And I'll continue to use this product to help source additional information needed as we continue to find the right EHR for us.